is Dalena Nguyen.
Hey guys.
Hey, she is a model, a signed model to an agent. She had her first feature film released just a couple weeks ago, Monster Force Zero, available anywhere. And you were just in like a National Dutch Bros commercial. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, I got contacted by actually two guys that I actually went to film school with, Josh Birdsell and Troy Pierce. They asked me to be one of the female leads in this commercial. It's a really cute commercial. There's a cute husky in it, and the commercial is actually promoting the Dutch Bros drink Camp Out, which is really tasty. But yeah, it's all over social media now. It's a really cute commercial.
Nice. So I know that social media and like Instagram modeling, it's still very much new, but it's becoming really popular. And I know you've had a lot of success with it, a lot of followers, a lot of engagement within a community. And so I just want to know if you have any advice for other women who are hoping to put themselves out there or collaborate with other photographers.
Well, nowadays it's actually really easy connecting with other photographers and models to work with locally. I mean, how I started was getting invited to a Facebook group called Sunday Night Meets, and that's just what started it. That's how I started networking with other really cool people, and ever since then, it's just, I guess, just launched since then. Like, it's just been kind of easy for me. Honestly, I am one of those people who have really bad social anxiety. I mean, speaking here right now is making me a little nervous, but it's exciting.
Could you tell me more about getting out of your comfort zone then? Because I know you were saying you have a lot of problems with anxiety and just putting yourself out there. So how do you overcome?
I knew I wasn't gonna create anything or meet anyone if I just didn't step up. I would be so stagnant, being so bored, doing nothing. I knew I had to do something. I had to push myself. If I wanted to start modeling, if I wanted to build a recognition that I wanted, I knew I had to step out. So I kind of just built up the courage just to just go. I kind of believed in myself. I know I got a certain look and a style, and I guess I just believed in myself a little bit as well.
It matters.
Yeah.
Especially when you have the look and everything and you're able to build a community. Gauging on people's posts and liking on them, that plays a big role in sort of gaining your own community.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of the community is to meet people, but to support each other as well. And it's like everyone who I work with, I'm constantly inspired every day by what people produce, like the content they produce every day. I'm completely inspired, and everyone deserves some hype, Everyone deserves the love. And when you do that, you're actually building recognition for yourself. You're letting these people know that you are also in the community, or that you want to be a part of the community.
So when you're saying like they deserve the hype, you mean like they deserve for you to go on their page and like their stuff and comment on it and share it. You're saying
they deserve the engagement, especially if the content they're producing is awesome and original, authentic, raw. Like, these people deserve the love. They deserve attention.
So is that how you choose the photographers you work with then? Do you sort of just look at their Instagrams and their Facebooks and think, wow, like I'm just in awe at their art?
Exactly. I look for authenticity. I look for creativity. And I'm not necessarily looking for originality, because I know, especially with Instagram, there's a lot of concepts that just become really trendy. So I kind of look for people who go outside of that a little bit.
Yeah. How do you work on a concept then? I know earlier we were talking about the Billie Eilish concept. Hey, have you shoot today? What's your shoot today?
So, yes, I'm obsessed with Billie Eilish, and I always have a hard time looking for concepts. But what helps me is, I look up music videos, because music videos especially, they kind of don't go by the rules. They're always so abstract when it comes to ideas.
I definitely think that music videos are probably one of the last places for true visual storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. And Billie Eilish, that's why I love her, because she's just so different and she embraces it. She's just so cool. But anyway, so the concept for the photo shoot tonight is based off her music video, Crown. And there's a scene in that music video where she's being attacked by these hands. These hands just come out of nowhere, and they're like pushing her, they're pulling her hair. And I just suddenly got inspired by, wait, this could be a cool photo shoot. Like, what if I put my own twist to it, of course? So what I'm going to do tonight, I had to find 3 other models that I can use their hands. So they're basically going to be my hand models tonight. And I have the photographer. His name is John Strothis. And so this is going to be this is going to be a big collaboration. It's, 5 people total? So this is like my first bigger collaboration, but hopefully I can pull it off. I'm a little nervous.
That's really cool. And so beside music videos, is there anywhere else, like, do you pull from your own imagination in terms of like concepts, or do other photographers come to you with really cool ideas?
All the time. Photographers come to me with cool ideas. Actually, yesterday, I had a photographer ask me if I wanted to shoot in a lamp store to do portrait style. And it was fun. I was nervous though, because I'm like, what if we get kicked out? And then he was like, no, we just gotta ask people and they'll be fine. And we literally just asked the people who work there, and like, yeah, as long as you don't shoot other people or like other customers, you can, just have fun with it. And we did. We killed it. We got some really cool shots.
Well, shooting. So you shoot everywhere then. What's one of the weirder places you've shot? He said a lamp store.
Oh gosh, weirder places. I mean, I've shot in garages, a lot, in the mountains a lot. I mean, in Colorado, you got to take advantage of the outdoors. So definitely there. I don't know. I think the lamp store was one of the crazy. Oh wait, actually, no. I shot in a mattress store.
Mattress store.
Before.
Or just like a Tempur-Pedic store or something.
A Tempur-Pedic store. Yeah, they got good lighting in there. You'd be surprised. A rug store, playing with rugs as your backdrop.
Just wherever you can.
Honestly,
right.
That's the cool part about photography, is like you can make anything, anywhere, anyone just look so beautiful. You just gotta play with it.
So let me talk to you about Monster 4.0 for a little bit. It was your first feature, just released a little bit ago. Tell me about your role in the movie.
Yeah, so this movie is really cool. It's actually, it revolves around cosplayers and Comic-Con, and it just explores that whole subculture of people who are huge fans of, superheroes or furries. But anyway, my character, her name's Chloe Cadabra, and how do I say this? It's basically a movie about a whole bunch of cosplayers and their superpowers come to life to save the world from a space Rex. And my character, she's really
Rex?
cool. Yes.
Space T-Rex?
Yes. Yeah. There's a scientific name for this Rex, but I don't remember, and I don't want to spoil it anyway. But my character is really cool. I swear she's like the baddest bitch ever. But she has telekinetic powers. She can unlock doors. She can fly. She can do a lot of really, really cool things.
That's awesome. What about being that character did you find really exciting?
I mean, personally, I related to this character a lot. She's definitely more introverted, and she would never ever go to Comic-Con and be a cosplayer. She's doing it just to be a part of something. She is doing it to get out of her comfort zone, and she's discovering herself through the whole process, through the whole adventure, and I can see myself doing that even now.
That's awesome. And what were her powers?
She has telekinetic powers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where is this movie available? Where can people find it?
Oh, it's online. It's streaming everywhere. You can watch it on Amazon Prime, YouTube, Vudu,
Nice.
video on demand. Yeah.
So it was kind of a low budget movie, right? And they filmed it in Colorado.
Definitely.
What would you say it was like working on a lower budget set and like working with a team of people who are just really impassioned about what they do?
I just feel like low budget has nothing to do with it. I mean, we were lucky enough to know and have a lot of connections with equipment, with lighting. I mean, you'd be surprised what small LED lights can do for a movie. It didn't feel low budget at all.
It's not a knock either. I think when you make, especially a feature film on a low budget, it's really hard and really difficult.
Yeah.
You're working on a completely different set of rules than a Hollywood set would,
That's
or, you know,
true.
a guild set would. And yeah, that's why I said that the people really have to be passionate, you know, because they're doing it for passion.
And that's why I love this movie so much, was because it was made with love. It was made with so much drive and people just wanting to put something out there for others to see, others to relate to. And that's what's so powerful about Monster Force Zero. I mean, there's not a lot of movies out there that explore that kind of subculture. So, yeah.
That's true. So you just also got signed to a talent agency, a modeling agency, right?
Just recently, yes. And I had my first paid shoot a couple weeks ago, and that was really cool. The agency I just signed to is called Goldie Mae Productions. It's a smaller agency, local here in Colorado, but it's great. They're great people.
Nice. Could you tell me about the process of looking for agents, you know, filling out the forms, choosing which ones you think are good, which ones you think you shouldn't take?
Well, I kind of just, I knew I wanted to be a part of an agency just because I knew it would help me grow as a model. So I kind of just looked for agencies that I knew, I guess, that kind of catered to models with diversity. I'm Vietnamese American, and so I was looking for agencies that kind of have a more diverse group of models. So I was looking at Wilhelmia, I was looking at Leak and Talent, but Goldie Mae stood out to me because I actually know a couple of their models already, and they love working with them. So it's kind of like a little family.
Tell me about the process of actually finding them.
Yeah, so I had to build my portfolio. I had to find this website do put my photos out there, and then I had to ask my boyfriend to do body measurements for me because they ask for that too. And then you kind of just like send a link of your portfolio and your measurements and hope for the best.
I know that, did you get like response from like some agencies that you didn't want to take?
Yes, this one agency reached out to me and they were like, we love you, we love your look, we want to move forward with you. We just want you to pay this amount for a certain photographer or this amount for a portfolio. And it was just an excessive amount of money they were asking me for versus Goldie Mae, who didn't ask me to pay for anything. And so that was a red flag for me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this sounds like a scam. So there's fake agencies like that out there. So you just got to look out for them.
Gotta be
I
careful.
definitely almost fell for it.
Right. So tell me about posing as well. So I know that that's definitely like it's like a skill that's hard to do, you know, just posing. You wouldn't think about it, but to be natural in like a statue type state, you know, for a second or two. I've even seen videos of like professional models who will like whip through poses in seconds and as the camera's clicking, you know.
Yeah, and that's honestly what makes you, that's what makes a great model, is being able to have flow with your poses. And it depends on the shoot too, you know, like sometimes I have fashion shoots where I'm not just posing to look good, I'm posing to make the clothes look good or the jewelry look good. If I'm having a portrait style shoot, then I'm making sure my expressions are on point, whether I'm playing with my eyes, my mouth, or sometimes photographers, they just ask you to play with it. And I think me being an actor helps with my poses, you know, because then I'm like telling a story with my body, or I'm telling a story with my expressions on my face. And I think that's why I became so popular in the community, is because I just have fun with it. I don't know. It's kind of natural. It just comes natural.
So photography, you're not really like pretending to be someone else like you would if you were acting. But would you think that you are sort of being somebody else, or you're pretending to be someone else when you're like taking photos and modeling as you would if you were acting behind a cinematic camera?
Am I pretending to be someone else?
Or is it like a persona you're wearing?
I think that's it. I think I just have multiple personas because every shoot is different. And everyone's trying to capture a different emotion or, a different theme of the shoot. So I think of poses that follow these themes or concepts. Like, for example, I did a Halloween shoot, so I'm like posing in very like mutated poses or like zombie-like poses, because you're not going to be like super cute and pretty with the Halloween shoot. You want to be kind of like demented, so like even with your eyes, like you play with that too.
Do you prepare for that in any kind of way? Like if you say I have a Halloween shoot coming, maybe you like watch like The Exorcist or something.
That's one thing I do a lot, actually. I study other models. I study other photographers. I see what kind of poses they do, because you could be so different with pose. There's just so many things you can do. But yeah, I definitely practice in the mirror a lot. And when someone throws a concept at me, I kind of like look up those concepts and see what I can do personally, how I can personalize the shoot with my unique poses or with my unique expressions. Or sometimes I even bring props or, I bring 3 different outfits just to really make the shoot come alive. That way we have options for them. How do
you stand out like on people's feeds? Because like you were saying, it's gaining in popularity, Instagram modeling is, and so there's fads and there's trends that of different concepts come and go. How do you stand out? And 2, what's your like favorite trend that's popped up while you've been doing this?
How I stand out? Oh gosh, it feels so weird talking about myself because I don't want to sound arrogant or conceited, but
I mean you have a lot of followers. You have like 16,000 something followers.
I think what makes me stand out, I've had a lot of models tell me that I have so many expressions in my photos, and I think that makes me stand out. I just have different looks, and honestly, that's what I'm still learning and growing as a model. And I feel like what makes me different is the fact that I can pull off so many looks. I mean, I do portrait style, I do fashion, I do nude photography as well.
What's that like, doing nude photography and just really bearing yourself out to the world?
I mean, I love it. I just feel so comfortable with my body, and I just embrace it. And obviously people can see that too. They can see how confident I am with my body, and I go to the gym, so like I have a very fit body as well, so that helps. But just the fact that I'm so comfortable with it, people like working with people who are confident and comfortable with their body, because when you're not, it shows. The camera sees that.
Right. And you weren't always super confident with your body.
I wasn't. I still battle with insecurity all the time. But this whole modeling thing, acting thing, and meeting all kinds of people, it's actually helped my confidence and helped me overcome this insecurity, because it's like, you're not so bad. You're doing okay. You're all right.
Well, you weren't always, you always kind of did some modeling, right? You talk about your high school modeling.
Oh gosh,
your scene days?
My scene days. Yes, yeah. I was a scene queen in high school. If you Google Miss Hollywood Ecstasy, you'll see my old photos.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like as a kid, I loved playing with the camera. I used to make stupid videos on YouTube, but that's what gained me some popularity was YouTube back in the day.
Yeah, MySpace.
MySpace, oh my gosh. See, that was a thing. So I guess that's where it started. MySpace, I created a whole different persona. Miss Hollywood Ecstasy. She's this confident. She loves hardcore music. She had spiky hair, red hair. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's what started it. That's what got me into acting and modeling in the first place, I guess, was when I was 16, and I created this whole different person.
Why do you think you did that?
I guess to express myself. I didn't have a lot of friends in high school. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. And so this was a way for me to express myself to someone who wanted to see it, you know, it was nice getting the attention, and it was just fun being this different person who spoke to other people, I guess.
Did anyone from your school know that you were doing that?
Yes, they did. I grew a lot of haters. That's what sucks though, is because like all I ever wanted was to be noticed or even admired just a little bit, because I didn't have anyone. I was always bullied, and when they found out that I was doing that, they were like, I definitely got made fun of for it. But you know what? I didn't stop.
No.
Because I loved it. And there was other people around the world who appreciated what I was doing. They liked what I was doing. They liked seeing me grow. I still have people find me on Instagram even, and they're like, "Are you Miss Hollywood Ecstasy?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's me." They were like, I loved you. I was a fan of yours since you came out on MySpace." And that means so much to me, that I spoke to someone that I don't even know, but they liked it. And honestly, that's what I'm fighting for, and that's what I'm still fighting for.
Yeah, isn't that crazy that someone years ago saw your stuff and liked it, and now they find you again and they're like, wow, you know, it's almost like you grew up with them a little bit.
Exactly. And honestly, I feel so lucky and blessed, and I will never take that kind of support for granted. It means everything, and that's what I'm doing it for.
Right. So you took everything you learned with your Miss Hollywood Ecstasy days and your scene days, and how you built a community on MySpace and YouTube. And then you took that knowledge that you gained and transitioned it into the modern time.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess I did. I never really thought of it that way.
I mean, what was it like? Were you building a community in the same way that you're building a community now? Like on MySpace, would you go and interact and engage with people's pages?
Absolutely. I feel like everyone who I've met in the community, I think we're all doing the same thing. We all just want to express ourselves, and hopefully someone out there understands our art. You know, hopefully someone out there understands the content we're producing. And I'm all about supporting others, especially people who share the same passion as me, because you know what, it's not easy, and not everyone is going to understand what you're producing or what you're putting out there. But as long as someone can or does, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. So do you mostly focus on Instagram now then, right?
Yes, I'm mainly focusing on Instagram. Instagram has definitely turned into a little marketing tool for me. I kind of use it as my advantage. I use it for my, I guess, self-branding.
Mm-hmm. And so what would you call your brand right now? Like, how would you define what your brand is?
Oh gosh, I'm still trying to figure that out, to be honest. So far, it's just me trying to be a versatile model. And also, I'm trying to push out there, especially between women, how instead of bringing each other down through jealousy or your own insecurity, to support each other, because we're all doing the same thing. And if anything, we should be bringing each other up, you know, supporting each other to be ourselves, to not be afraid of being ourselves, empower each other, you know. And I feel like sometimes there's women out there who bring other women down for their own personal
Not just
reasons.
women, just men, anybody in general, you know.
For sure.
People get competitive, and they feel that bringing other people down somehow helps their own stance, you know.
Yeah, and that sucks, you know. And especially for other artists, I feel like the most important thing is to support each other, because we're not alone, you know.
Yeah. Did you ever have anything crazy happen on the photo set or on the movie? Did you ever have anything crazy happen on the movie?
On the movie?
Or a photo shoot?
Oh gosh. I've had so many experiences. I know when we were making the movie, and this will be mentioned in the behind the scenes footage, but while we were filming a movie, the fire alarm goes off because the fire alarm goes off and the fire trucks come only because we were playing with the smoke machine, or I guess the fog machine. We got a little too carried away with the fog machine, so that put us on a huge delay making that scene. You'll know what scene it is too when you watch it.
Well, that's awesome. Any other takeaways you have from like being in a feature film or modeling on Instagram?
I've learned that when you become completely vulnerable in front of an audience, or whether you're completely vulnerable in front of friends, it's scary, but that's where the art is coming from, you know? And so just the biggest thing I learned is that vulnerability is not a weakness. It's definitely a strength.
It can be hard to do that though.
Oh, it's very hard. Yeah. It's very hard because, and what's stopping you? You're afraid of what people are going to think of you. You're afraid of people maybe laughing at you, trying to push it. But honestly, it's the best. Once you overcome that fear, it's the most rewarding experience you'll ever have.
Well, how would you say someone to really start getting out of their comfort zone? Like, what's the first step where someone is like, they spend 10 hours a day behind their computer watching TV, and then that's just where they stay. They have no ambitions. They don't want to get out there, put their face out there. Like, what's the first step you would say to that person? Or even the first step you would say to a younger you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the biggest thing is telling yourself that you're great. I think it's loving yourself. I think a lot of people who are afraid to get out of that comfort zone don't think they're worthy, or don't think they're value enough, or that they don't have anything to put out there. But really, that's just your self-doubt. That's just your insecurity talking, like you really just got to tell yourself that you are amazing. You got to give yourself that love. And then once you do that, it's easy. It's so easy to know. Once you know your worth, once you know your value, it's so easy to put yourself out there.
I feel like self-hate is kind of trendy right now, though.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Especially this year, where
year.
like you're completely secluded from society, right? But that's why Instagram is so big right now, because and maybe that's what makes it easier, like to put yourself out there too. But it's a struggle for everyone, and I just want anyone to know who is dealing with that you're not alone. Everyone deals with insecurity and depression all the time. You just got to find that one person who can support you and go from there. Right. Even if it's from yourself, even if it's from yourself.
Right. But I mean, it is pretty trendy, like I was saying, to hate on yourself. You got the whole doomer thing going on right now.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that.
A lot of people listen to the lo-fi hip-hop beats and drinking their problems away.
I like that channel.
I do too.
It's a good channel.
I do too. But loving yourself is not easy. Like we were saying, if that's the first step to getting yourself out there, that's kind of a hard first step,
Let me tell you something. It's not hard to love yourself. You just got to find little things you like about yourself and go from there,
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy to go into a very dark place. But I feel like, how do I say this?
It's easy to go into a dark place, right? And
yes.
But you're also saying that it's easy to love yourself.
Yes, it's also easy to love yourself. You just gotta.
They're both easy. It's easy to get depressed, and it's easy to love yourself.
I mean, I still struggle with depression every now and then.
Right.
Where I find something that I hate about myself, whether it's my behavior or whether it's my look. But that's the only person telling me that is myself, no one else. And so that's why it's like a constant battle with yourself. But once you tell yourself that, or allow yourself to be open to being positive with who you are, then I swear it's easy, and I swear it's worth fighting for.
Well, I think we're just about 30 minutes, so thanks, Dalena.
Awesome.
Do you want to shout out your Instagram page and where people can find you?
I guess I'll be one of those. My Instagram handle is Dalena Ecstasy. You'll find all of my cool content there. I also have a little YouTube channel where you can see some of the short films that I personally directed. You can also find stuff and links on my Instagram page where you can find more about Monster Force Zero.
Awesome. And that's it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for having
Bye,
me.
Dalena.